Hi everyone and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Alexandra Divine. So today's video is going to be all about wedding dress shopping, my top tips and answering a lot of frequently asked questions that brides have in the run up to buying their dream gown. What gives me the qualifications to make this video? Firstly, I am the co-owner of a bridal boutique called The Dressworks. We've been open since 2014 now, so gosh, okay, 7 years. So we've had thousands of brides through our doors. We've seen it all. Secondly, I'm actually a bride-to-be myself. I'm actually a COVID bride. I was due to get married in June 2020, but unfortunately we did have to postpone. Fingers crossed, I have everything crossed in fact, that we'll be able to do it in 2021. Okay, so the very first question that I'm going to cover today, it's one that we get asked a lot at our boutique, and that is, when should I start looking or be ready to buy my wedding dress? So this is like a lot of the questions here, there's a lot of personal preference in each of the answers here, but there are definitely some things that you should be aware of before you start to look and know when you're going to purchase your dress. There's two different ways to buy a dress basically. You can special order a dress, which means you go into a boutique, you try on some samples, and then you can order the dress in maybe a different size or a different colorway. A lot of designers do things like you can have different lengths, you can have a shorter version or a longer version, those kind of things. So if you want to special order a dress, which means you'll get a brand new crisp dress, never been tried on before, it's just for you, those take around 6 to 9 months to arrive. 90% of dresses do arrive within that 6-month time frame from the designers that we use at our boutique, and I'm pretty sure it's the same across the board with lots of different designers. Getting them in that 6 months is absolutely fine. However, unexpected things like coronavirus can delay things, or a lot of the dresses are imported. If for whatever reason, I don't know, it gets caught up in customs or anything like that, or there's a delay in the factory where the dresses get made with fabrics, that's why they kind of say 6 to 9 months, because they don't want to give you a guarantee. They don't want to say 6 months, which is the usual time, and then it not arrive in time. So it's 6 to 9 months. A time frame doesn't then include time that you will need for alterations. We will come to alterations a little bit later, but you do have to allow time for your alterations, and obviously you don't want to be picking your dress up the day before your wedding, having a big panic. So if you want to special order a dress, then you need to start shopping around 12 to 18 months before your wedding. Okay, so the second option that you have for purchasing a dress is the outlet or the off-the-rack, the X-sample dress. So that means when you go into the boutique, the dress that you physically try is the one that you're going to buy, take away, and actually wear on your wedding day. So time-wise for this, if you are under time conditions for any reasons, if you take this route, you can really leave it as late as 3 months to go shopping. So it's not like you can never really just go in and pick one up and take it on the day and then get married the next day, because 99% of brides do need alterations on dresses. So we'd still recommend going 3 months at the absolute latest for an outlet or an X-sample dress. To be honest with you, even with this method, a lot of brides still prefer to just go 12 to 18 months in advance, because they want to kind of tick that off their list. You can plan, once you've got your dress, you can plan your wedding around it, plan different things. It's one of the more fun things for a bride to do when planning a wedding as well. So even if you are taking this method, we would still recommend 12 to 18 months, but if for whatever reason, like I said, you have those time restrictions, you can wait to 3 months before your wedding if you need to for this. Okay, so the next question we're going to be answering is all about bridal sizing. So we get a lot of questions, what's the sizing like? Will this dress fit me? This one is one of the most frustrating parts about being a bridal consultant, I'd say, is that the sizing, no matter where you go, if you go to a boutique or an outlet, no matter where you are in the world, bridal sizing is small. It is tiny, and 99% of brides have to size up on their normal high street clothing size. So if you are brand new to bridal shopping, you've never been to a boutique before, please do not be alarmed when you go to your appointment and you have to size up on your regular high street size. It's just a really awful one, because obviously you want to, when you go bridal dress shopping, you want to feel fantastic about yourself, you want to feel great, and then your bridal consultant might hand you a dress that's a size, or even sometimes 2 sizes bigger than the size that you've told them that you were. Don't let that affect your day at all, because it is 100% normal. I always tell brides who I'm working with, after I've asked them what their high street size is, I'll say, okay, please do not be alarmed. Do not look at the size on the tags of these dresses, because they are small fit. I don't know why they're small fit, I don't know why the designers do it, but it's just one of those things that is how it is. Okay, so the next question that we get asked a lot at our boutique is, do I need an appointment? So for our boutique, the answer is yes, and I do think that is the case for a lot of the smaller boutique style shops. If you are going to a big outlet store, I think a lot of the time they do accept walk-ins, but you can also make appointments there as well. The reason that we, for instance, at our boutique do this is because we want to make the bridal shopping experience really special for our brides. It's a different experience, bridal shopping, and you usually want to, a lot of brides want to bring a few people with them. It's a time for everyone to relax together, and it's a memorable experience, and that's the case why you need to make appointments, is because if there are no appointments, it could be the case, especially on weekends, where you may have 10 brides turning up to a boutique at one time, and that is a completely untenable situation. No one's going to be having a good time in that situation. No one will be finding a dress. Okay, so my next top tip for bridal shopping, before you go shopping for the first time, definitely sit down with your fiance, partner, whoever is purchasing the dress for you, if somebody is, and agree and discuss budget. Because bridal dresses range in price massively, so you can have dresses, well, obviously depending on where you go or the type of dress that you want, dresses from £150 all the way up to thousands, like literally thousands. So a lot of the time brides don't know that, so if you go into a boutique and you haven't agreed a budget, or you think that you don't have one, and you tell your consultant, oh, I don't have a budget, they might put you in a dress that costs £4,000, and you're gonna fall in love with it, and they'll tell you the price after you fall in love with it. You've had the tears, oh, this is it, this is the one. They tell you that it's £4,000, and you're like, okay, turns out I do have a budget. Because a lot of brides don't know that dresses can be that expensive. Now that is quite rare, to be honest with you. You know, again, depending on if you're special ordering or if you're buying outlet, like we discussed at the beginning, special ordering definitely is more expensive on the whole, as opposed to outlet or buying a sample. Again, and designers differ massively as well. I'm going to find it hard to give you an average price of a dress, but dresses can vary. For instance, outlet, perhaps £495 to £1,000 for an outlet dress, or an example dress around that kind of price. Don't quote me on that one, and definitely depends where you live in the country as well. But if you're special ordering a dress from a well-known bridal designer, then you are looking, you know, probably around £1,500 to £3,000 pounds there as well. If you go for a more couture designer, someone like Galia Lahav, who's an absolutely stunning designer, definitely check out their Instagram page. Those dresses cost thousands. But yeah, so definitely discuss a budget where you want to stick to. Different boutiques also have different price points for kind of their general collections as well, so it's definitely best to agree the budget that you want to stick to, and then try and find the boutiques that are going to kind of fit in with the budget that you've set. Because like I said, the worst thing that can happen to a bride is they'll go into a boutique, and either they don't know the cost of a dress, so they'll try it on and it turns out to be out their budget, or they knowingly try on a dress that they've seen a picture of, they absolutely love, they know that it's over budget, they put it on, they're crying, they love it, they're saying this is the one, and then they're not willing to move the budget, and you're not putting yourself in a good position, because you're basically setting yourself up you're setting yourself up for disappointment. There's no right amount that you should spend on a dress. There's no wrong amount that you should spend on a dress. Everyone is totally different, so it's definitely best to sit down, agree that, and then speak to your bridal consultant about it, and they can point you in the right direction. Okay, so my next top tip is, when you go dress shopping for the first time, expect that the dress that you're going to try are not going to fit you perfectly. It can be tough, because I know sometimes if you go dress shopping on the high street, if you go to Zara or New Look or wherever it may be, you go in there for an outfit, for a night out or wherever it is, and you expect to put it on, it's going to fit you and you can leave, you don't need to do anything to it. So wedding dress shopping is not like this at all. It's mainly because the fabrics that the dresses are made from are not stretchy. So a lot of the materials that you'll find on the high street, they're very stretchy materials that allows kind of lots of different body shapes to fit into it without being quite precise. Whereas with wedding dresses, they have certain measurements for each size, and the materials aren't necessarily stretchy. You've got tulles, satins, a lot of lace isn't stretchy, dresses with a lot of beadwork, they're just not stretchy. So you might find something that fits you perfectly on your waist or your hips, but it's going to be big on your bust, for instance, or vice versa. Another thing is that the dresses are all made quite long as the standard length as well, so that's why you'll see in boutiques they usually have like a step for you to step on, and that's because if you don't step onto a step, the dress is going to be basically rolled up around your feet, because the standard length of a dress is much longer than the average height of a female, for instance. Now if you are tall, that might not necessarily be the case. If you are 5'10" or above, you potentially aren't going to have that problem, but to give you an example, I'm 5'8", and my wedding dress, even with shoes on, is going to need taking up. So please don't be alarmed at that. That is completely normal when you go shopping. Don't worry about that. So you'll go in with the mindset that you're going to need to have the alterations. Now most boutiques will help you with the dresses, they will clip you in, especially with the sample dresses as well, because it isn't necessarily going to be in your size, so you'll get clipped in so you can get that feel of how the dress is going to look and feel when it's fitted to your body. And like I said, hopefully they'll have a step for you to step on so you can actually see kind of the flow of the dress without it being rolled up around your feet. Now with alterations, different boutiques have different options. A lot of boutiques will have an in-house seamstress, or they can recommend you a seamstress. If the boutique you're going to, for instance, doesn't have that, and that is quite rare, but if they don't have that service and you find your dress there, but obviously you need your alterations and they can't recommend somebody, if you're looking for somebody yourself, please make sure you are getting a professional bridal seamstress. Cost-wise for alterations as well, now I've seen huge differences in costs for alterations, and you definitely should, when you're budgeting for your dress, you should definitely include the cost of the alterations in your budget, because like I said, you're definitely going to need to get them done pretty much. See, the lady that works in our boutique, the cost of a professional bridal fitting is £150. Correct time of filming. But that includes anything that you need doing to the dress, so having the dress taken up, having it taken in, having it let out, fitting a corset instead of a zip, or vice versa. Just anything that you're adding some extra sleeves. This cost is £150 at our boutique. There may be seamstresses out there that are cheaper. There are definitely ones that are more expensive, and yeah, when you're budgeting for it, I would perhaps budget anywhere from £150, up to £600. Okay, so what can you expect at your appointment? So I think most boutiques, outlets, they work in a similar way to this. You'll go in, you'll be greeted by the consultant that'll be working with you that day. They're going to sit down and they're going to talk to you all about you, about your wedding, where it is, what the theme is, what the colour scheme is, have you tried dresses before, what is your budget. And the purpose of this is to be able to help you and facilitate you with trying on dresses and finding dresses when you're there at your appointment. Another thing to expect, and again I think this is not necessarily everywhere, but it's most places. So most places when you go to try on bridal dresses, your bridal consultant is going to be in the changing room with you. Yeah, you're going to be in your underwear, the bridal consultant is going to be in there with you. So if you've never tried wedding dresses before, that's definitely something to expect. A lot of the time we'll hear brides who've never been shopping before, and they don't know that this is going to happen, and they kind of have like a little, this look comes across their face, and they're like, oh my god, this stranger is about to see me in my underwear. Please don't worry at all. I mean, obviously it's on all female only environment, and your bridal consultant has seen thousands of women in their underwear trying on dresses. Some people are more anxious about it than others. Some people do not care. Some people bra off straight away you go. But obviously some people are a little bit more cautious about it for different reasons. The reason the bridal consultant goes and then helps you in the dresses is because the dresses, you know, you can't really get into them yourself, so it's normally difficult to get into them. You can't reach around. A lot of them have corset backs, so the consultant needs to do that. So the next question is, how many dresses should I try on before I make the decision and purchase a dress? So this one is of course extremely personal. Working as a bridal consultant, I have seen all ends of the scale. I've seen brides who walked into our boutique, they have literally tried on one dress, having never tried dresses before anywhere else, and they have decided and purchased that dress. I've also seen the complete opposite end of the scale to that, where brides will come in, they have been to every shop possible, or they're planning to go to every shop possible and try on hundreds of different dresses, or they've tried on hundreds of different dresses, and they just cannot commit and make the decision for whatever reason that is. And definitely no one should be kind of pushing a bride into making a purchase of a dress if she's not ready to do so. But just from a recommendation tips point of view, please note that you can definitely try on too many dresses. You can definitely try on too many. So it's just really easy to become extremely overwhelmed, and that feeling of being overwhelmed by choice can prevent you from actually feel like you found the right one or made that right decision. We always say to our brides that when you're trying on dresses, no matter where you are, whether it's in our boutique or a different boutique, wherever it is, if you can try on a dress and you just love it, you feel $1 million in it, it's making you feel emotional, maybe you're gonna cry, and please note, not all brides do cry. Sometimes brides will say, oh, I'm not crying, so this can't be the one. But if you're not a crier, then that's not necessarily going to be the case. But yeah, if you find that one that you just don't want to change anything about it, you can really see yourself walking down the aisle, getting married in this one, then I would just, wherever you are, you know, go for it, go for it. Yeah, because you can have that feeling and then you can keep trying to recreate that feeling, and you can keep trying and trying and trying and trying, and you confuse yourself, you don't get that feeling again. It can make you second guess the one that you loved. Yeah, so like I said, there's no one can really tell you how many you're gonna try on before you make that decision, but definitely just bear in mind that trying on too many, yeah, that can overwhelm you. Okay, that brings us to the end of today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that was informative. If you do have any more questions on bridal dress shopping, please pop them in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer those for you. If you enjoyed today's video as well, please click subscribe. I have lots more wedding related content coming up very soon, so keep an eye out. Thanks guys, bye!